Sweet. January. It is hard to believe that we're already here. It has gone so fast. And the things that are coming up and how just quickly everything is going is insane. So I'm glad that you're here to join us in all of that crazy. Because we've got a lot of fun coming up.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yes, I know. I've been trying to keep it single and I just couldn't this time. I'm like, I'm just not even gonna try to condense. It just is gonna be what it is.
Smaller font.
I know. But what's
Because
so
really
cool is the way that I'm doing it on the single document now with the tech training stuff that we've done. It's so easy to flip back between different months. And so like Sarah asked me something and like, who do you think's coming? It's like, well, and I looked back at our multiple past meetings. So like, these are the ladies who've been regularly attending. So I imagine they'll be here.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it was really fun just to, kind of see that of like, yes, I'm being able to utilize these tools that I'm learning. I like it. Okay, so let me share my screen for the agenda. And I figured out this little this thing. I'm gonna do it because it's fun.
Look at you.
I gotta switch tabs though. Okay. Just because, isn't that hilarious?
Oh,
So, technology, when you can do fun things, you've got to do it. So, enrollment and promoting Raven. Late enrollment is open. We're still adding students gradually as people are interested. So, if you know somebody who's struggling or interested of making a change, it is a good time to make the swap, try it out, kind of dip your toes into homeschooling now. And then re-enrollment is opening up in February. It's usually around Valentine's Day or on Valentine's Day. I'm not sure with where it falls over the weekend, if it'll be like a day early or a day late or exactly where around it will be. Because the 14th is Saturday. And last year it opened on the 15th, which is a Sunday. So I'm not sure if it'll be like the 13th or the 16th, but somewhere right around Valentine's Day, we will show our love for Raven by having re-enrollment open. And so then those families that are, even late enrolled can then re-enroll and, get started ready for prepping for, having allotments next year and everything. And then March, on the first day of spring, March 20th is when new enrollment opens up. So crazy that we're already there. If you have any thoughts or ideas on enrollment promotion themes kind of stuff, we like doing different sort of things each year for, adding like our popcorn machine or our gumball machine or, different things to kind of show like, here's our enrollment target number, here's how we're doing on our goal. So if you have any ideas, let me know. I've done a lot of different ones through the years, so kind of like, okay, which one should we do this year? What would be different? Or has it been enough years since we've done, this one to bring it back? I don't know. For assessments, we've got MAP testing going on currently this week and then next week. If anybody else wants to participate that hasn't signed up, it's still okay to get signed up. Each day, like when today's testing finishes up, I will close today's testing and then set up tomorrow's testing and close the sign up for tomorrow since I've got like my test session all prepared. So as long as you sign up before like noon on one day, you can even get in on the next day's, session, as long as I haven't locked that day yet. But it's usually been kind of late afternoon when I've been closing one day out and getting the next day prepared. So if you didn't sign up yet and still want to, there's time the rest of this week, next week. Liz has also been doing dibbles testing with the younger kiddos, K through 3rd. That's been going well.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's anyone else who still wants to get in on doing some of that reading assessment, Liz has her scheduling link available for that too. Any assessment questions or enrollment questions? Okay. Upcoming activities. This is always the most fun part.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, you've got your concert.
Yeah.
And we've only still got one family signed up to attend.
Oh.
Yeah, but if anybody else wanted to
It's a
attend,
big
they still could.
family.
It's a small party.
But if somebody else wanted to join, they still could, right? There's
They were
seats
holding
or-
spots.
they were holding spots for
Yeah,
us. So if anybody's interested in joining the student.
10 o'clock at JDHS auditorium.
10 a.m.
And it's short, under an hour.
Yeah. It sure seems fun.
I think parking is probably an issue, just
Oh, because it's
consider that.
JDHS, right? Yeah. Ugh.
Think about that.
It's interesting that it's at JDHS at that time with like school going on and stuff.
Yeah. They
And that
bus in
Cracker
all
parking
the
was terrible too.
they bus in all the students from the different schools. So,
Okay. Interesting. Well, take some pictures so we can like get other people excited for next year.
Okay.
We've got a new series starting up this next week. Next Wednesday's when it will start. It's gonna be called Tech Together, Tomorrow's Tools Today. Just came up with the title today with Gemini's help. And sorry, I've had a cold and the dry throat keeps tickling me. It's gonna be really exciting. I really, really hope we can have a good turnout. My goal is to get the flyer out today, so everybody has a week to kind of like prep their brains and stuff. So we're gonna do parent-teacher workshops on Wednesdays, and it's not every single week because the teacher's got some conflicts and we've got some conflicts. So it's gonna be starting next Wednesday, but then I'll have it on the schedule so you can see exactly which ones it is. There's gonna be 4 weeks of content, and so there's gonna be a parent workshop where this gal Amanda, who is a trainer specifically in this, so she does this as her job. She's gonna be teaching the parents and the teachers how to implement, these different topics with your kids. So very hands-on, very, specific to like, how can you help teach your kids this? How can the advisory teachers help parents to do this in your homeschooling, day and that kind of stuff. So the 4 topics we're gonna be covering is an intro to code.org, computer science connections, digital citizenship, and an introduction to AI. And so the parent workshops are gonna be 2 hours long. She's condensing like a whole day's worth of when we were initially talking about it, totally didn't realize she had in her mind like a 6 to 8 hour workshop.
Wow.
And when she actually said that out loud to me, I was taken aback and was like, that won't work. There's no way. Because I said, if you're teaching a teacher on like a weekend, they don't have, their whatevers, but these are parents who are teaching their kids at home, so we're gonna have to have the kids in here too, we're gonna be entertaining them and keeping them occupied, the ones that can't stay home or whatever. And this is time away from their homeschool day where they're teaching their kids. So it's great to teach them how to do this, but we need to make it a manageable amount of time. So she's like, well, I don't think I could fit it into an hour. I said, how about 2? I could see parents doing 2 because that's, it's going to be hands-on. There's going to be a lot of information, really useful. It'll go fast. But I was like, I could easily put on a 2-hour movie for the kids, or, we can have them engaged. They can do that. I could see a 2-hour commitment. So the timing is going to fluctuate just a little bit because there's a couple days that there's some time conflicts for her and for us with like all of our just office stuff. So I think 2 of them are going to be like 12:30 to 2:30, and 2 of them are going to be like 2 to 4. So again, I'll put that on there. So that's Wednesdays will be the parent ones. So for each topic, we'll do a parent 2-hour workshop first. And then the following Monday, we'll have a student activity that's on the same topic. And we're going to break it up into 3 different age groupings. So that way the lessons can be targeted to that kind of age bracket. We're going to do them back to back with just a little like 15-minute buffer in between for her to be able to reset. And the goal will be that parents can come with their kids to see the lesson like put into action. Parents don't have to stay for the kid activity one, but it would be good for you to be able to then, you got taught how to do it. now you see her doing a model lesson with the kids. And so that way you can kind of see what it's like to actually put it into practice. So the goal, and that's why I liked the title with the tech together, of like, let's do this together as a family, you know, the parents learning how to do it, the kids getting to do it, and, you know, the parents getting to see it modeled for them being able to integrate it themselves into their homeschool day, you know. So I'm really hoping that it will be a lot of fun and be able to get a good turnout. The parent workshop ones, we will use Zoom to broadcast. So if you can't actually come in person, you know, and I talked to her about that. I said, you know, what if a parent needs to be able to be at home teaching their kids, but could watch on Zoom, so that way you're home, they're doing their stuff, you can be on there helping them, you know, on mute, whatever. You might be a little more distracted, but it's possible. She said, sure, no problem. So the parent ones will be broadcast on Zoom, so you can join it that way. The kids ones are hands-on though. So those ones are here with the kids doing the stuff. Some of the things will be unplugged activities where you don't need screens, you know, that kind of stuff. So those ones we won't do on Zoom, but the parent ones we will. So
This would bring your own computer with.
I need to ask her about that because we do have plenty of like our testing laptops that we could use.
Okay.
But it might be, so I need to ask her for that one piece for the student one of would it be better for the students to bring their own devices with them to be like logging in or doing stuff, you know, kind of getting connected on their own. That's a great follow-up question. I forgot to ask her that. I've thought of it like 3 different times also. And then every time we meet or are, you know, communicating, out my brain. So I'm gonna write it
Will
down.
this build, like, if we know we're gonna miss a week, are we out altogether?
No.
Or, okay, 'cause it'll be a topic
yes.
per.
You could sign up for individual ones. We did them in this specific order because we thought it would be a good flow, you know. But we will record the parent ones. So if you can't attend one of them, you could still go back and watch the recording. And they are independent enough topics that you could, you know, kind of pick and choose based on your schedule and what works or whatever. So my hope is that, you know, a lot of people will want to do the whole thing, and especially once they see how cool it is. And she's been doing this for, I can't remember how many years she said, like 20 years or so. She's been in doing it in the classrooms and, you know, 2 teachers and working with kids and all that kind of stuff. So she knows her stuff. And so it's gonna be really cool having somebody who's specialized in it to be able to do this, you know.
Is she a Juneau person or is she coming in for it?
She lives in Juneau part of the time, and outside, they're kind of like the opposites of snowbirds, because they're here right now. And then like she said she wouldn't be able to do it until January because when we first started talking about it in the fall, they were down south somewhere.
Okay.
So they got back to Juneau in December, and that's when we started more of our planning and stuff. So I'm like, that seems reverse, but okay.
Cool.
I think she's got some either daughter or some of her kids here. I think she's looks like she's probably in her 50s or 60s. But she's got, you know, older kids here and somewhere else, I think. So she might, I think they're retired. Well, her husband's retired and doesn't understand why she doesn't retire. She's like, because I love what I'm doing. So, but a lot of her training that she does, she says she does over Zoom and, you know, remotely and stuff too for people. So, she's, you know, used to that. Okay. I am writing myself a note there, so I'll remember to ask her that when I send her the flyer today, because I'm gonna get it finished up after the meeting and then send it to her to look at, and I'll ask her that question too. So I know I spent a lot of time talking about that, but I'm really excited about it because of the planning and prep that she and I have done, and the, you know, descriptions and all of that, and just seeing how much, as I'm learning more about some of these different tech tools, how fun it is to use them to make my job easier. So to be able to share that with families, kind of demystify some of these different things, and then you know, make it an easy tool and accessible for parents to be able to use with their kids, I think it should be a lot of fun. Any questions about it? Okay, like I said, my goal is to get the signups sent out today. And then science fair, this is another flyer that I'm working on. I chatted with Sarah Braun, who last month at the PAC meeting had said she really wanted to do science fair stuff and was willing to head up every other week meetings for it. So we're gonna do the kickoff next week, and she's gonna have like different tasks, and I think there ended up being, let me do a write down, like maybe 6 to 8 check-in times between the kickoff and when we'll do the showcase, which is down later on the agenda at the bottom, the student showcase. We had talked about 2 different Fridays. So when Sarah and I were planning out the science fair stuff, we thought that April 24th would be better for it based on the layout of like how they can check in every other week and that kind of stuff. So I'm working on getting that flyer out also to advertise that piece. She said, you know, again, students don't have to come to every one of the check-ins, but the goal will be at each one of the check-ins will be, okay, these are the next tasks on your, you know, science fair project that you're working on to be ready and to kind of bring with you to our next check-in meeting. And then they can check in, talk about, you know, where they're all at with their projects, how things are going, what struggles they're having, what questions they have. And her plan is to put together like a little rubric and stuff. So she is kind of like helping to support, you know, the parents with that. Part of it's because she really wants one of her daughters to do a science fair project. And so she needs like that kind of community and group of like, okay, we're going to do a science fair and this is what you're going to do and here's the stuff. And so she's kind of taking lead on organizing it to help benefit anybody else who wants to give their kid that experience. And so she'll be helping out with that stuff. We planned it for Thursday mornings so that it would be done in enough time for those who have skiing on Thursdays. That's one of the reasons why she asked you, what time do you usually leave for skiing?
There is a window you have to be leaving.
Yes, so we made sure we planned with that. I didn't write it down on here, but it will enable you to get home and have lunch before, you know, that. And it's only every other week, so it's not like a big commitment, but it'll give you very specific things, like these are the things to work on so that you can kind of plot out your time to get your project done and the board, you know, developed and all that kind of stuff.
Poor Fridays, sorry.
Oh, it's
I
okay.
have 2 hours of Lego league too,
It's all right. It's okay.
and skiing.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm just kind of like, we only have to survive until March 13th.
Right.
And like it's almost over.
Yeah.
1 month.
It's all good. We're
Yeah.
just gonna be homeschooling all year long.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
June?
there's a beauty
Yes.
in that.
June for you.
Yeah. Any questions about the science fair? Okay. Like I said, my goal will be to get that one out. Hopefully today, probably more likely tomorrow, because I really need to get the tech one out first, since that starts on the 28th, and then the other one starts the 29th. So, you know, Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, next week is National School Choice Week and the Great Kindness Challenge. So I've been trying to brainstorm and think about that with like daily themes and that kind of stuff like I've done the last few years for our kind of big school spirit week. I have a ton of fun with it. I don't know if the kids do. I hope they do. I thought that the little Cali cats that we did last year for the stackable collectibles were really fun. So I haven't quite decided what I'm going to 3D print, but I want to 3D print stuff again for the kids for each day. So I was looking at what we've done in the past and what activities we have going on this year for tweaks and stuff. So Monday, the last couple of years we've done preparing for kindness, and we have battled the books on that day. I think it kind of worked out well with like, what?
I said that.
Oh, that's Bob. Yes, Bob.
Oh.
Yes, sorry. Battle of the Books is Bob. So we did kind of that, you know, as we're preparing for our Battle of the Books competitions, as we're preparing for different stuff, we're preparing for kindness and getting set up for the week and doing all the stuff. Tuesday, we've done training for kindness, and we've got Battle of the Books, Pokemon, chess, Lego League. We may have ice skating that day if I get on the ball and get it requested. It's so easy for me to fill out the form and do it. It's just, I just have to fill out the form and do it.
Yeah.
So potentially we'll have ice skating that day too. That's the next thing on the list here is the dates that we are going to request for ice skating, because Rachel and I talked about that. So those are the 3 on our list that I just need to send off and ask for. So I think training for kindness kind of still works there. We've got our Pokemon trainers, we're training our chess skills. It seems like it kind of works. With Wednesday, last year we did sharing kindness. This year we've got the first of the parent workshops and Dungeons and Dragons and the Raven PAC meeting. So I don't know if a different theme would kind of work well with those ones. We could do something like coding kindness or I don't know. Any thoughts on something that might go along with the fighting for kindness? Because the D&D, I like that.
They're doing their,
fighting. But
so I said 4.
okay. Gotcha.
Because they're doing the Revolutionary War.
They're doing their first battle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to say battling kindness, but fighting
Then fighting
for
for.
kindness. I could see doing that.
What's a parent workshop?
That's the
That's the
tech one.
Got it,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
I listed as parent workshop before I decided on the tech together title, so I hadn't gone back and changed it in that spot. Thursday, last year we did growing kindness. The year before that we did increasing kindness. But this year we've got the science fair. So I was wondering if maybe there would be something that would go along with the science fair, sciencey something
Or
kindness.
growing would be
Growing could work.
botany.
Oh yeah, because of the
But what are we doing? Like, is there an activity that people are gonna do here with
It's
their
gonna-
care and kindness?
I more try to just tie the title in with like, hey, today we're growing kindness. Come on in and
Oh.
learn how you're gonna, grow your science fair project or whatever. It's more of just, it's not so much that activity involves it, but just I'm trying to tie it's School Spirit Week. These are the things that are going on. Let's, have fun during the week
Gotcha.
and just kind of
Yeah, okay.
buff it up a little bit. I don't know. And last year I had like the little collectibles where each day they came and participated, they got a little collectible.
Oh, yeah.
Any other sciencey ideas? Okay, growing works because of all the things you grow in science. And I can't remember if I had like little seeds or something that they could plant. And I mean, we could have something with that. I could ask Sarah like, hey, you want to have a little planting station while you're doing your stuff? And the kids could go away with a little, thing to sprout. Friday, one year we had a math activity, so we had multiplying kindness, and then the next year we had our lunch bunch, so we did feeding kindness. This year the only thing we have next Friday is our Lego League practices, so I wasn't sure what to do for that one.
I was gonna say building.
Building kindness.
Well,
That's where I was like, they're building, they're coding, building kindness. All right, I like it. Sweet.
That's true.
Yeah, but that'll be fun. And they're building their team
Alright.
skills and all that kind of stuff too. Sweet. Okay. Thank you for your help with that. I just needed some additional input for like how I needed to finalize those. And we'll see what I end up coming up with for any little 3D printable goodies that the kids can collect throughout the week. Ice skating, as we mentioned, our plans are for January 27th, February 17th, and March 17th. As soon as I have those finalized, I'll get the flyer sent out with the signups and such. So far, I've never requested a day that they've said it was already full. Like, it's been pretty easy to get the times that we wanted. So I don't anticipate it being a problem, but, I can't guarantee it until I've actually got it secured. So that's our hope and plan. World Read Aloud Day. I love World Read Aloud Day. It is one of my favorite times. I love reading with the kids. And like, I used to have lunch bunch and other opportunities to read with the kids, and now it's like all shrunken down. So I really do still want to do our Read Aloud Day pajama party. Wednesday, February 4th is World Read Aloud Day. So we kind of are tied into that time or that day. I don't know what time we would want to do. We've done 9:30 before. We had a little breakfast parfait station where the kids got to like make a little yogurt parfait, and then we sat and ate and read and that kind of stuff together and had some fun. So we did it at 9:30. I don't know, we only had a couple of kids last year. It was really, really small. So I don't know if a little bit later would be better, but I feel like we had done it at that time because of skiing or something. I don't know.
There's only 6 kids skiing.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
Wednesday's
right, it's
really
really small. That's right, so we don't really need to.
In total, that's not even Raven alone, that's all
That's
of
crazy.
homeschool, there's 6, so.
That's insane. It's so weird. So let me stop my sharing for a second and look at the calendar and see. Wednesday?
Do D&D that day, on Wednesday afternoon?
I don't think
Not that one.
Mm-mm.
We've got the
It's
parent.
every other.
Well, that day we've got. Actually, I don't know if that's one of the right ones. We had to rearrange our schedule a little bit because of. Initially, we were gonna be starting today for the parent workshop stuff, but didn't get it advertised. So then we had to shift stuff back, but then things got shuffled. So that may or may not be one of the parent workshop days. If it is 12:30 to 2:30, I could do World Read Aloud pajama party stuff at the same time while the parents are in here doing this.
Smart.
I could do that, and then Sarah would be here. So if I needed to like do any of the technology stuff or whatever, I could have her help me with the kids for a moment while I'm doing this, or trade off or something. What do you think? Combine it? Ah, hooray. And then with parent stuff. Yay. Then it'll be a really great reason to bring your kids and bring them in their pajamas, and we'll feed them and have some fun reading and all that kind of stuff. Awesome. Okay, that's a great idea. We're gonna have. Oh no, I don't think. No, maybe we aren't doing it that day. I might not have shifted things correctly. Because that day, Kellen and Joan are both up in Anchorage at the SPED conference. I think I'm wrong. I think I didn't move that on the calendar right with everything that was shifting around. So that might be null and void. Which would mean the only thing happening that day is a potential Lego League practice for the 49ers. So really, we're open to whenever. If we are doing a parent workshop there, I can do it there. If there's not a parent workshop, what's your thought? Still afternoon? Or
Yeah, I can
or
see
like
if
doing
it's
a lunch?
Afternoon is open. I like to get all my school done in the morning.
Morning,
if
yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
That's just my preference. If you said breakfast wasn't very popular last year.
I don't know if it wasn't popular or if it was just morning was too early,
Yeah.
you know? So we could do it something with lunch. Kind of like a lunch bunch, read aloud, pajama party, just a one thing. Okay, I'll see once I verify my notes are on my desk for that one. Okay, sorry about that. I like having everything accurately entered on the calendar, and I'd already started entering things, and then we shifted stuff, and then it was like, what have I moved, what have I not? It got to be a little bit of a mess, so. Okay.
Yeah.
But I just love it so much. I hope I'll have some kids come, because I enjoy reading to them. Valentine's exchange, I've already had a couple people asking me about this, so I looked at the calendar for that layout. So with where Valentine's Day falls, we'll have everybody sign up and drop off your mailboxes to the office by Friday, February 6th. That way I can send out the list of names to everyone. So over the weekend, you can get your Valentines ready, name them, all that kind of stuff. And then bring them into the office, deliver them like Wednesday, Thursday, the 11th and 12th into the mailboxes. And then Friday, February 13th, everybody can come pick their mailboxes up so they have them for Valentine's Day. We've gone off and on, back and forth about doing a Valentine's party. Last year, what we did was a time to come in, pick up your mailbox. We had like smoothies and something or other. I don't remember what it was, but I brought my blender and we were like mixing up strawberry smoothies for them to be pink and something else. I don't remember what else. Do you remember, Liz?
I don't know if I was there.
Okay.
I missed it.
I know, it may have been a Friday. It probably was.
Yeah.
So we just did it kind of as like a little mini kind of a thing. I don't even think we had crafts or anything, but we've done all kinds of different stuff at various times. So it's one of those holidays that it's a hit or miss one, you know? Any thoughts on if you think your kids would like to, or if you'd want to bring your kids to do something?
I'm just gonna point out that we have the field house for that afternoon.
Oh, it is
On that
on the
Friday.
5th, Friday the 13th.
Yes. So, and like
Thank you, I'm glad
my kids also have skiing,
Skiing,
so
right?
not
So
sure.
maybe not. Maybe we just don't worry about it this year. Say we're doing a Valentine's
I mean,
exchange.
Kids just come pick up their boxes. and
Yeah.
call it in.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone, I don't, my kids would not.
So yeah, we've done different ones. Like we've had some that were really big, where we had like, you know, huge craft gala, all this different stuff. Some of it with re-enrollment opening up, to like have a big party for Valentine's Day and, you know, open re-enrollment and have a computer set up and all this different stuff. But since I'm not sure exactly what day it's actually gonna be opening on, I think that'd be a little bit harder to, you know, say, come on Friday, but it's not actually open yet, so, you know, that part's not, doesn't work. So, okay, I like the idea of just saying, let's not do it this year. Once it's back on a weekday, then we can reevaluate a big party. And then you guys have your tournament, FLL up there in Anchorage.
Yes.
So fun.
This time next month.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
it is.
I'm so excited.
We're the fastest moving school year ever. Ever.
Jack
Yeah.
came in on Tuesday and said, we have a month left. It's like, it's okay, Jack, we'll be fine.
They're so cute. It's been fun seeing them work on it and get ready and everything. So we'll be cheering you guys on. And I'm hoping you can connect with our Anchorage office and teams while you're up there. It sounds like
I hope so too.
the stuff is pretty close to where because our office is in the Diamond Mall there.
Oh, no
So
kidding.
mhm.
Oh, funny.
So it sounds like it's pretty close. The tournament is gonna be is pretty close to that too.
Allison mentioned too, we got an Airbnb, but the director, she mentioned that there was the hotel, there
Oh, yeah.
will be practice tables set up there too.
Wow.
So we can go there like Friday night if we wanted. It's still, even with the discounts and everything, it was still $100 more per family
Is that
to
right?
stay at the hotels than us to get an Airbnb. So we're not doing the hotel, we're
That
gonna
makes
stick with the
sense.
Airbnb. So
Yeah.
I was gonna text everyone and see what they wanna do, and I was like, no, I'm vetoing
No,
this.
yeah.
So, yeah, but
That's awesome
I
that you were
talked
able
with Allison and she said that we can do,
you can still come and
we
use
can
the
still
practice
come and use
tables.
the practice
Nice.
tables, they won't even know, like, so, yeah, and if we could connect with Raven office, that would be awesome too.
Yeah. That'll be so fun. Hooray! Potluck and family movie night. Last month when we had talked about it, we had said potentially January something that's next week. And I was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. There's been way too much stuff going on in January. So the other date we had picked as a possibility was March 26th. I can't remember exactly how we decided it, but I think it was like a spring breaky kind of time frame or something. So I'll reach out to the theater if that date still looks good to everybody. Was that that's not a good date?
Oh, I was just remembering guitar that night, but maybe Wednesday's available. But I shift tomorrow.
February, this is just.
Yeah, we've typically done Thursdays for the movies because they can't do Friday or Saturday, and it
Right.
kind of seemed like
Yeah.
an evening at the end of the week kind
Yes,
of
it
event.
does feel like, kick off your weekend.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I can fly it around, that's okay. It's just funny, we chose guitar for Thursdays and it was like,
It's
Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year was on.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, Thursdays seem to be a big holiday one. Yeah.
Will you ski?
Never mind.
We've got our high school counselor coming down. He's already got his tickets and stuff, so he'll be here March 2nd to 5th. We'll be doing individual meetings. I haven't got the schedule set up for it yet, but he's got his tickets, so now I can start doing that. We were gonna try and plan a couple of event like workshop-y things while he's here too for that one. So we'll be working on getting that schedule so you can kind of tentatively plan, put it on your calendar that during that week he'll be here, and then I'll get the schedule sent out soon.
If I could make a plug,
Mm-hmm.
since I like to force my children to hang out with him.
Yeah.
Wednesday and Thursday mornings, they both have writing classes.
Oh.
And the last like 3 times they've come by, it just works out for the office, and if that's how it works this time too, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I can get them both to attend if it's not what day, Wednesday or Thursday morning.
Okay. Super. Yeah, I don't remember what things specifically we had talked about trying to plan for like workshop aspects. We'll be doing a senior meeting on the Thursday while he's here, but he doesn't fly out until late Thursday night. So we had talked about something. I can't remember what we had talked about. I gotta look back at my notes. I had a sticky note with like all kinds of little things jotted on it. We talked about something where he said, well, I can do that in the evening because I don't fly out until like 8 o'clock or something like that. Do you remember that?
Yeah. You asked about senior meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
that.
remember.
Okay, well, at least it's not only my brain.
Okay.
So we'll get it figured out. So, he did say, we could do like an evening something or other as well. So, bowling, we haven't got that on the calendar yet. We've often done it around April time. So I just kind of wanted to put it out there. I always look back at like, what things did I have on the agenda last year? Oh, I had bowling on there. So we're still determined that. We can talk about that, as we get a little bit closer to what that might look like.
In that spring break, maybe on Wednesday,
Mm.
we can chat.
Yeah. Yeah, because that might be some more open times. And tea party, we've also fluctuated. Recently, we've done it in April several times because of like poetry month, and so we've tried to kind of be like, hey, let's share some poetry and do some crafts and have a party. But the last couple of years, we haven't had very many people attend. It's been a lot smaller the last 2 years or so, where it used to be huge. Like we'd have 40 people here. And in Delta, theirs is huge. Like they close the whole office. They like dress up really fancy. They've got a hat contest for like the best hats. Theirs is girls only. And they still, it's like this huge event. Like it's one of their biggest events of the year is their tea party.
We all have a lot of boys.
I was
Or
gonna
all
say,
boys.
Right.
even since it's
We're all
boy
boys,
dominant,
It
and they're
is,
all
it
getting
is.
older.
Right.
Where tea parties are expanding.
So maybe that's okay. Maybe we're just we've never done girls only here. We've always done it mixed. But it is interesting that like we definitely had some times where we were heavy on the girls and like everything had lots of girls and tea parties and bringing your dolls with you and all of that was just huge. So I don't know. I mean, we don't have to do a tea party. It's a fun thing. We've got all of our really nice teacups and all of that. And
I would put a plug for or a vote for it because I do have a girl.
you do have a girl.
And she's kind of finding that there are not very many.
Just girl things.
So she kind of like, just like the mascot for Lego League is kind of like, where
Yeah.
are the girls?
And surrounded by boys.
Yeah.
All the time.
So maybe it would be fun to do something, even if it is smaller.
Even if it's smaller.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my 2 cents.
Well, I enjoy doing it, but I was just like, do people just not want to do this anymore?
I do.
So let's chat about a time then
Okay.
for doing that. Like I said, we've typically done it around April time, like after testing is done or something.
Is that
But
the
with-
first 2 full weeks of April?
Yes, that's my plan.
Okay.
With the student showcase on April 24th, we might have to
know.
kind of look around that too and
It
see.
might be like a Monday or.
Yeah, and because
Or
we
when, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. So we'll work on it. If you think your boys would be interested, let us know, but
I love the idea of
But you
that,
know
and
what?
when they were little, they loved
Matthew
it.
would.
Matthew would love it.
Yeah.
So if you don't do boys,
But what I would say is moms can even come without their kids.
I can come adopt a different
You can
girl.
come adopt
Yes.
a girl. Like just come and enjoy tea partying with us. Like moms, come on out. Even if you don't have a kid that wants to come.
Oh shoot, if Matthew's going, I'll bet Charlotte.
me
It's like
too, love.
They
It's so
do,
funny.
they do. Otherwise, we'll just follow the big boys, and the 14-year-old is not really tea
No.
party
No.
interested.
My boys
Yeah.
will like poo-poo the idea, and the next thing I know, they're like sidling up, I'm like, well, can I have a cut? Like, well, I want a treat, and like, oh, look, where, because we do them at my house
Uh-huh.
frequently, and yeah. But I don't know if it was like, if somebody
Yes.
was coming, they would be like,
Yeah,
different.
that's so funny. Super. Student showcase, so we had talked about that 24th. I need to reach out to the church to see if that will work for reserving it for being able to do it over at Ock Bay. To be able to have that, piano and all the different other, set up in big room and all that kind of stuff. Because we talked about doing science fair, living museum, opportunities for showcasing their various talents. So I still need to reserve the church. But it's a pretty easy process to fill out the form and send it over to them and stuff. And I can see the church calendar, so I haven't looked at it. I meant to look at that already, but I forgot. But typically we don't have much going on Friday nights there regularly, so it should be okay. Any other thoughts or stuff on that?
No, I was thinking about maybe doing another Pokemon tournament at the end
Oh.
of February.
Yeah. One of the kiddos asked me about it yesterday. I
Yeah,
didn't
you
miss the
did.
tournament, did I?
No, I need to get, scheduling it for the 24th
February.
of February. Cause then we'll be done with Lego League, cause I'll need to do it
Oh, yeah.
early. I have to do it early cause it takes longer.
Oh, yes,
An hour.
yes.
So starting at like 1:30 maybe.
February what?
24th?
We'll be done with it.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what she
Yeah.
said.
I was like, oh,
yeah,
it'll
once it's
just
done,
be done, so then, and then I can start it early, cause Lego League will be done,
Yeah.
and then,
Jack reminded me unless we get to nationals, and I laughed, and he was like, "You laughed when we started United States," and I was like, "If we get to nationals, bud, I don't know."
I have yet to see one of our teams get that far, but they have always.
that's a good goal for me. Like, let's
We
like,
got.
let's.
You should look
let's-
at some of these Anchorage teams. We are nowhere near where
Oh,
they're
yeah,
at.
I-
Like it's not.
I know.
And I don't know how to get it where we will be. It's gonna take a lot more than what Tanner and I know. We both were like, why is
Your
this not
first
working?
year, your first year, it's okay. They're learning.
Something to aspire to.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's good to be raised up, but then to be humble.
Yes, exactly.
True story.
And it'll be a great experience for them to get to go up there and
Oh, yeah.
see
Learn so much.
those other teams and see what it looks like in that size and dynamic and everything. So yeah, it's really fun. I don't have any more details about the Amp It Up camp than what I had on here from last time, just May 7th through 8th. And I'm waiting for, next steps for that kind of stuff of what's happening and details. But you can at least mark your calendar. That's what the plan is for the people coming down. There's like a math specialist and a computer science specialist person. And so again, it'll be kind of like our fun tech together where it's, people who really know this trying to,
This
Have
is what
something.
the people that came a couple years ago, right?
it'll be yes.
Similar?
Yeah,
that was
yeah. I
so
don't think it'll
cool.
be exactly the same people, but, because it's like a
Run
team of
the
people,
same.
but it's
Yeah,
run
okay,
the same
okay.
kind of way.
That was neat.
Yeah, it was really, really good. So I'm really looking forward to it that we're gonna do it again. And both of these things, both the Amp It Up camp and the Tech Together is made possible by a grant that we have for the school
Yeah,
district
that's
right
really
now. So that's what's paying for the professional people to be doing these things for us and everything, so there's no cost to our families. So that's what I'm like, take advantage of this, use it, because then we have to do certain different things for our grant and show how we were using the money and how it impacted families and all of that kind of stuff. So I hope that we can, get some real good participation and that it can just be a great experience. We had a ton of fun with it the last time we did it. So, and we'll do stuff for all ages again, same kind of way like we did last time, and make it a whole big event. Any questions on activities before we move on to the last couple things? We might actually get done on time, even though we started a couple minutes late.
Is the America's Field Trip
Oh,
contest going on?
it is. I had that in the extras section of the newsletter, but I didn't actually put it on like our activities thing. But
Then due date for that is just March 30th.
March
So,
30th.
Yeah.
I need to promote that again in there. I'm really excited that he's putting stuff forward. I've never
I'm
heard
really
of,
excited
because
for it.
it happens every year that I know of. I remember, seeing it and sending it out, but I've never heard of any of our students actually like submitting stuff for it. So I
was
really
writing
hope.
an essay for it. So
Yeah,
what does America mean to you?
I hope that. How cool would that be if he,
I mean,
Won something.
he has ambitions like he's gonna win, so let's see. I'm like, all right.
Lego League has just gotten him on that
We were
mindset.
When we were like reading through all the opportunities to do stuff, it was just, Anyway, for the field trip, he was just very excited about it.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I also just, in the newsletter I sent out for this week, got information about Healthy Futures art contest, which I wanted to see if you might want to combine it at all or do anything with it for February's art club. I don't know what your plan is, if you've already put together ideas.
I have an idea.
Okay.
I haven't demoed it yet.
Okay, well, the contest is specifically for 7th to 12th graders. So we don't have as many of those that come to that, but it could still be fun for the younger kids if they wanted to, do a thing. But it's interesting, there's 50 Hall of Fame athletes. And so what they want to do is have kids create trading cards for each of the 50
Oh, wow.
athletes, Alaska athletes, for using for the Healthy Futures program for rewards and things. So they're having this contest for the kids to design the trading cards. And there's some serious cash prizes that go along with that. The top first prize was $1,000. I was like,
Wow.
whoa. And so the kids can submit one trading card design for each of the 50 athletes. So they've got like 50 chances to win if they wanted to actually do it for all of them. They've got a little submission form. They've got the whole thing laid out. So check out the newsletter I sent out yesterday for this week. If you've got kids that are 7th and above. But I would say even for younger ones, like, hey, let's have fun. Let's just make one for fun, see what we could design or whatever. So they've never done this before. I thought it was kind of cool when I saw this information about it yesterday. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that extras section. Yeah. I always try to keep an ear out for fun, upcoming, random opportunities that might interest kids and stuff. So look at that, extras section at the bottom. I know it's a long ways to scroll down sometimes, but if you open it up on a computer, you can see the little table of contents on the left-hand side and click on it to zoom down to that section. So I don't know if anybody's ever discovered that, but that's how you can navigate it quickly for the different headings. All right, a few important dates, reminders. Healthy Futures Spring Challenge begins next month in February. I forgot to give your boys their prizes from November. I was like, we talked about it. I pulled it out. I set them on my desk in the basket, and then out of my brain. So, I haven't heard what the prizes are yet for the Spring Challenge, but it'll begin next month. As soon as they give me the prize information, I'll send it out to everybody. Like, hey, this is what the kids can be earning. But I was impressed with the ones in the fall. I think they had fun little doodads for them there. And we've had some pretty good participation this year, like a dozen or so kids. So it's kind of fun. January 31st reimbursement deadline. The reimbursements have been pouring in. I am so thankful, because when people wait until the day of the deadline or the day after, they're calling me crying because they forgot to turn them in, and is there any way I'll still accept it? And I'm like, it's not up to me. This is not a me deadline. It's not me telling you I won't process it for you. So I'm very happy for how much has been coming in the last 2 weeks. Like every couple days I've got a stack this tall to be processing and submitting and stuff. I'm like, how in the world in 2 more days has it gotten this thick? So that's good. Hopefully, because there have been times where on reimbursement day deadline, I can't do anything but just receive. And I'll end up with a stack on my desk, no exaggeration, this tall, of just reimbursements. And I'm like, oh, this is so overwhelming. So I appreciate everybody who's already starting it now, and that means you're gonna get ahead of the big, crunch that day that lasts for a little while after, as we're all getting them reviewed and submitted and processed and that kind of stuff. They still are working on the new digital submission option for reimbursements, but it sounds like I don't know if they hit a few snags or if they just had some other projects in the business office that kind of took precedence over like having to be done or something. Because it sounded like things kind of stalled on their original timeline of when they wanted it, because their original plan and goal was for it to be rolled out in October, with the goal of being like starting a soft rollout where you can use it, to then like by January being only using that. And so I talked to our director Kim on Tuesday and said, any updates on this, whatever, and she said, well, we really want it to be rolled out this spring, so spring reimbursements can be coming through this method. We can be testing it, making sure everything's working and running smoothly while we're kind of concurrently accepting both digital and paper traditional ways, for the goal of next year being solely through that method. So their goal is still to get it rolled out this year, to do kind of that soft rollout in the spring where you can choose which method you want to do. I think it's got some really good benefits to it. I think it will be helpful in certain ways, but I think it's also going to be a little overwhelming in certain other ways, because like we got a reimbursement from one family this week that was 4 reimbursement forms with all 10 lines filled out. So that was 40 receipts and all of that in one stack. With the way that the new system is, each receipt, I know, we were both like,
You want that?
okay, who's gonna print this one out? Who's gonna get this assembled and ready?
I did.
Wow.
You did other ones.
Yeah.
But with the new system, one receipt is on each submission. So like
You have to review.
she would have to put that,
Yeah.
like that submission that was 4 forms to us with all the stuff attached will be 40 separate submissions. And so when it comes through, it comes to our email. So that would be 40 emails from this person,
That
so-
seems very inefficient.
So that sounds inefficient, but
Unless you're doing it as soon as you buy
that's the
something.
goal. The goal is that you buy something, you snap a picture of your receipt, you submit it. You buy something, you snap a picture of your receipt, you submit it. You don't hold up,
Cause like I sit on mine
3,000.
because I'm waiting for the next piano payment.
right,
And then I.
Right. yeah. You do a whole month's worth with your internet and your everything.
I just do it right now, else and forget about it.
Yeah, so
I have,
it'll
like,
work
one on
well for
each.
you with that plan. So I can see there being, it being frustrating for families of like, I've got 30 things to submit, and how, it's really easy, and it will, if you already, fill in your stuff, you can say like submit another one, and it'll leave all your other like top information about who you are, your family number, that stuff pre-filled. So then you just have to talk about that specific receipt of like, okay, this one is for piano, this one is for internet, this one is for, whatever the case may be. And so it's like, put in the description, do a picture of it, and submit it. So hopefully it will make things easier, and then you'll get an email notification that it was submitted. You'll get notified when the teacher has approved it. You'll get notified when the business office has processed the payment. So the goal is that you'll be getting notified more along the way, so you can kind of keep in the loop versus like dropping it off and going, hopefully this will eventually get where it's going, And we try our best to keep them flowing as fast as we can, but it's a lot of hands in the process along the journey. And then if there's a problem, if a receipt or a form with 10 of them come in and there's a problem with just one receipt, so one $3 receipt could hold up a $500 reimbursement. This way, every receipt is on its own merit. This one's good, this one's good, this one's good, this one's good. All of these will get paid out. It's only this one receipt that will be on hold until it's fixed. So there's a lot of benefits that I can see with it. I can see if, a few things being like, this is gonna be so frustrating getting so many emails. But, we already deal with 200 emails a day, so what's another 100 just because of reimbursements? So anyway, just know it is still in the works. It's still coming. It's just taking a little bit longer to get rolled out. February 15th is the ILP change deadline for second semester. If you need any other tweaks, changes, adjustments, class added, class dropped, that kind of thing to your ILP for this year, that needs to be done February 15th so it can be signed and all of that, which I think is actually a weekend, so it's probably more like February 13th or February 16th. But, you know, right around there is when the deadline usually is. And that's again when re-enrollment will open. So, yay! If you want to do the computer or MiFi program, one of those programs for this year and haven't done it yet, the deadline is March 15th to get that set up and sent in to me for getting that processed. March 15th is also third quarter progress reports. I know none of us want to think about that already because we just approving quarter 2 still.
We just made it through Christmas.
Even when the teachers have that reaction.
Yeah. It's just so crazy how fast this year is going. And new enrollment opening up, so those are the kind of the important dates, reminders coming up. The last piece before we head out is just the stuff that we've been working on for the proposal for the additional office space. Got the form all put together. My goal was to get it sent out last week before the meeting so we could have had a week's worth of data to compile. Then I got sick and everything derailed. So I've just been way behind. So I did get it ready. I sent it out with the PAC meeting agenda stuff today. I'll put it in our weekly newsletter also, and then try and do a separate flyer for it after I've gotten a few of these other ones out that I really need to for events. My target goal, my awesome, like, it would be amazing if we could do this, if we could get like 75% participation. Like, if we could get 75% of our parents who are, I would say, who are here locally in Juneau, you know, the families that are outside of Juneau that doesn't really apply to, I can see being like, why should I care? You know, why am I gonna do this? But I would say if we could get 75% of our parents who are here in Juneau to fill out the form, we would have some really great statistical data to put together our proposal to the school board. So if you could do it, there's, I think, 12 questions. I grouped it by categories. Again, I used Gemini to help me put it all together, and Sarah looked over and she used ChatGPT and we compared the different options and we kind of like looked at how we liked it to try and have some questions. Not too complicated. I'm hoping it won't take more than maybe 5 minutes to complete. And I kind of broke it into different sections so it wouldn't look too overwhelming. You know, here's the, you know, this one I had kind of like some little titles of like why I'm asking you these questions. This is for this part of our project. This is for this part of our project. So I'm hoping we can have some good participation with that. If you ladies would take it, and if you have any feedback, let me know. If it's like, oh, this was hard. I had Sarah try to look at it like, said, look at it from a parent perspective. Like, as a parent, how does this look? What should we tweak? You know, we made some of the questions required and others not. So like anything that had a long answer or like tell us something about it was optional, so that we're hoping, you know, only those quick, easy ones being required will make people more likely to fill it out. And then if they don't want to, you know, write anything, it's fine. But for like, you know, do you have a quote you'd like to share, or, you know, something or whatever, that's all optional versus like the very specific, like, what about these couple things, to get some quick answers. So I'm hoping we'll get some good turnout and feedback, and then we could look at that data at our February PAC meeting to compile that to be able to present to the school board. When I sent it to our director for her to review to make sure everything looked okay before I sent it out, I'm like, is this okay? She had one extra question she wanted me to add on, which I did, but then her last sentence was like, our budget's really tight, don't expect this to make any difference. I'm like, you were the one that told me to do this, that this was the only thing that would make a difference. What? So that was a little discouraging when I was like, no, like, we desperately need more space. We can't do what we're doing right now without utilizing that regularly. Like, end that, because that kitchen room is not ours. We've been using it all this time, and I've been trying to tell her, our property manager, we will pay to be able to just like rent this one room, you know. You'd think they'd be all for it, but she's like, oh, just use it. I'm like, okay, you said that, so we are.
Here we go.
And then she'll be like, well, but you know, you're using extra space, it's not even yours. I'm like, because you told me I could.
What?
I'm like, don't bring this around backwards. Like, don't do that to me. So anyway, I'm really hoping that this can make a difference, that we can get some good data, we can put together a nice proposal. The school board has walked through and seen it. I've told them about my vision and what I'd love to be able to do back there. They've said they really like it and all of that. So I'm like, maybe with many of them having seen it, us having stuff from the parents, the stakeholders in this, maybe we can do something. Fairbanks just got a beautiful new building. Like, come on, give us something. But things are less expensive up there. You know, it's because Juneau is just so expensive that it's like, well, we're paying, you know, more for that than this. I'm like, I know, but we have this much space compared to it. You know, so that's frustrating. But I'm glad we got it done, got it sent out later than I wanted, but I'm hoping that it will still be good and we can get some good feedback and, you know, be able to put that together into a nice proposal. And if anybody wanted to, you know, help with presenting it or anything, one of the questions in there is, would you like to be a part of this project in any other way, like actually, you know, collaborate in another way or something? It'll all be anonymous unless you put your name in that part to say yes. Sign me up to help you with some part of it. So I was hoping that that also would be, you know, a benefit where you don't have to put your name on this. There's no like demographic data that's gonna, you know, identify who you are. We did put like, you know, what age range are your kids in, so we could kind of see like parents with young kids say this, or, you know, teenagers, blah, 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 whatever. We're still continuing our monthly book orders. Our Raven-wide PAC meeting with Kim is next week. I don't have the agenda for that yet because she hasn't given it to me. Any other thoughts or questions or anything? Let me see, is there anybody watching online? I'm gonna bring my broadcast up here so I can see. Anybody on Facebook? I will add your name to my list if you put in the comments that you're there now. Speak now or forever hold your peace, right? There's my... Okay, I can see my broadcast there. Any comments? I don't see any comments.
Yeah, we have so many things.
Okay, going once, going twice. I'm gonna spin the wheel for our prize for today.
I was like, oh, tomorrow's Wednesday, like,
And it's
that's today.
That's today.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We
Yay!
At the moment, I have Subway. Do you like Subway?
Sure.
All right, there you go.
Thanks.
I realized I had run out of all of my gift cards, and I was like, "Oh no, Sarah!" She goes, "Want me to walk next door to Subway?" I said, "Sure, that'd be great." So she went and got gift cards for me, so I'd have Subway at least. We were waiting to see what's going to happen with Froyo for because they were saying they weren't selling any more gift cards and redeem the ones that you have because they were changing hands, selling the business, whatever. So I'm hopeful that they'll, you know, start back into that, so I'll be able to get those again. But I haven't heard anything on that regard quite yet. So thank you all for coming. 2:09, not bad since I think we started the broadcast at like 1:07 or 9 or something like that also. So we'll stop our